Hello everyone, how are we doing today? Name's Oriklad here, and welcome to Behind the Game with Oriklad. Now, today I'm going to be talking about ESO and an Anti-Mage Templar build. So here's ESO, got some nice pretty music. This is my Templar right now. I'm not max level. I'll be doing another video once I do reach that point. Right now, I just want to give out some information to some people that might be lower in the game and that might want to build in case they do play a Templar. So, let's head on in. Now, this is my first video, so if there's anything I can do to possibly make it better, just put it in the comments or tell me personally. So, here we are. I'm just going to do a quick view of how I run my build. I forgot that I was out in the middle of nowhere, so I got attacked. But as you can see, we're always diving into the fight. Makes it really nice and easy, actually, to keep on my targets. Actually going to pop my ultimate here just to get these guys out of the way. Now usually I don't play like this. I just do it so it's easier for you all to see what I'm doing. Now we're going to head back into the city where I'm not going to get jumped again. Because we all know this game. Everyone likes to get jumped. The one thing I really like about this game is the wide openness of it. Really makes me feel like I'm playing Skyrim again. And I love that game. I put over 200 hours into it. I was really wondering why I wasn't sprinting there. Quick note, whenever you're on your mount and you're going through the city, just sprint all the time. And it'll make wherever you're going a lot faster. Okay, so today I'm going to be going over my armor and weapons, my character stats, and then my skills. So let's go over my character's armor and weapons. So I'm still working on getting my stuff to be better, but for now this is what I have. Actually, that's a lot better, so we're going to swap that on there. Okay, so I have full heavy armor, which brings into perks later on, but I've been trying to get a lot of add maximum health, and then when I do make my own armor, it'll be resistant or more health. It's not going to be a lot of, like here, it's not going to be item skill line experience or exploration experience, which I have on. It's not here, but I do have some other ones. And then for rings, necklaces, I'm going to try and have reduction in my stamina because I already have passive magic reduction, and I use more stamina abilities than I do magic reduction. But right now, what I have is increased maximum health, increased maximum magicka, and I do have 2 reductions, which is nice. Now for my weapon, this is where all your damage comes from besides your passives, because it's your weapon. I'm using a greatsword. Now, why I'm using a greatsword is because you gain extra damage from one of your two-handed passives. If you're fighting tanks and not squishy mages, I would say go with the two-handed mace where you can ignore a percentage of their armor. Also, the battle axe isn't bad. You get a constant bleed damage onto whatever target you're fighting. I also do have a staff on. I don't really use it, but in case I do need to switch over, I can. I would switch over to a staff only if you're going a more supportive role, which Templars can easily do since they do have the healing factors. Since we've gone over my items and weapons, let's switch over to the character stats. Now, I don't have a title yet. I'm Citizen. Don't have a bounty, which is great. Major thing, though, we do have lots of health compared to magicka and stamina because I already have reductions, and most of my items are going towards those. Now, I do have 10,000 health, but that's because when I dive in, I need that health to stay alive. So I have 7,600 magicka, 10.3 thousand health, and about 6,900 stamina. My recoveries, I have more stamina and magicka recovery than I do health, but I have skills to help me keep my health up or protect it. So, what weapon damage versus skill damage, spell damage? I have more weapon damage because a lot of my abilities give me more, and that's where most of my damage comes from. My spells are mostly supportive and defensive from my build. And I do have a lot of spell resistance, which is why I'm going on mages. So as you saw in the very beginning, you dive in, and so in this case, you focus on their mages in the back line, and you dive in on them and do as much damage and zone them out as much as you can. Okay, I was just wondering what was going on there. Okay, so back on what we were talking about. So those are my resistances and my spell resistance. The critical will probably get better later on. I haven't really found out stuff to increase that yet. So let's go on to my skills. So I'm mostly Adric Spear because I'm the offensive Templar. I use Crescent Sweep with extra damage as my ultimate. So when I jump in, I can Crescent Sweep, deal lots of damage in front of me, and then I have the DOT around me. Puncturing Sweep is another one. It heals me and I deal damage in front of me, and that's all the enemies in front of me will take this damage. So that's nice AoE, and also the nearest enemy gets knocked back on the last hit. So it's a little bit of CC to add into your build. Now, I am going to be using Sun Shield, but not until I get there. I will be taking out my Brawler once I do, because my Brawler gives me a shield, but I'd rather get a percentage health shield. And since I'm already stacking health, this one will give me a better shield. Now, you can put in some Dawn's Wrath or some Restoring Light. I have one healing skill, but that's just in case if I need it. Now, if you're going the more supportive role, Spear Charge is really good because it's a long-range AoE, and also people can pick up the shards and gain their stamina back. Now we're going to go on to our weapons. I've only been doing two-hand, which is why I suggest you get the most damage output for what you're putting in. Brawler is great in the beginning. I got the one that gives me a shield. This is my dive in ability. Critical Rush, because I gain more damage the farther I go, and it always causes a crit strike. So that's a lot of burst damage, and then you can start piling on the rest of it with your other abilities. Wrecking Blow is also really good. A good combo is Critical Rush into Wrecking Blow into Critical Rush, because Wrecking Blow knocks back and stuns enemies, so you have the time to Critical Rush them again. Now, I'll also be using Forward Momentum, which I use when there's 3 or more enemies around, because it gives you a passive life regeneration, and also gives you more weapon damage. Now, I got the Forward Momentum, because the original skill is just called Momentum. I got Forward Momentum because it's a CC break. So this allows me to not get caught by a freeze spell, which I've been a lot. And for passives, Forceful is really great. It allows you to hit more enemies and deal more damage. Heavy weapons, as I said, two-hand swords deal 5% extra damage. That's always great. Balanced Blade reduces the ability costs for two-hand weapons. Follow-up, I don't use. Mostly because I think that taking a fully charged heavy attack takes too long, where you can use a skill and get the same results for the same or less amount of stamina to use. Battle Rush is also really nice because it gives you stamina regen after you kill someone. And in the Adric Spear, my passives, I use Piercing Spear because it gives you bonus to my critical strike and more damage when people block. I skip Spear Wall since I don't block myself. You can, but when you dive in, you don't really want to be sitting there for too long. So you go in, you burst your abilities down, and then you could always try to get out. Or if you have your team to back you up at that point, then I'd say pop Momentum and just keep auto-teching until you have enough of your other abilities to come back and start using them again. Burning Light's really good because you can deal extra damage. I've actually had it done and it deals a lot. As you see here, 25% cost to catch 885 magic damage. So when you're spamming, let's say Puncturing Sweep, you can hit 885 in that also, so you can do about 2,000 damage. And Balanced Warrior is really good. No matter what you do, I'd say get this, because it increases your weapon damage and your spell resistance. That right there is enough to put the points into it. Now we're going to go on to armor. I made the mistake of trying to go for light armor. I also have some medium armor, because I get a good piece of armor, you throw it on during the early game. But I've been focusing on heavy armor now, and getting passes such as Resolve, which increases my armor and spell resistance for each piece of heavy armor equipped, and Constitution, health recovery. I'm skipping over Juggernaut for right now. I should get it, and I probably will later on, because it gives me max health. It gives me a bonus to my current max health. I'll probably skip over Bracing, since it's a stamina cost, like it reduces stamina cost for blocking, and I don't really see me blocking a lot, as I already talked about. And Rapid Mending, I will get when I get to that point, because that'll allow me to get healed more effectively. Now for the world, just in the beginning, definitely get like Soul Shatter. Soul Summons is really good in PvE, because you use less soul gems, since you can revive once every hour without spending a soul gem. So it doesn't make you go back to a way shrine to revive. And then the rest of it is just PvE. This one's mostly PvE. I mean, yes, Soul Strike is really good, but I still haven't gotten to my Soul Magic rank 6 yet. I'm not saying it's bad, because that's a lot of damage. I might actually switch over to that once I do get it. Especially when a mage is trying to run away. I'll deal tons of damage over 3 seconds and reduce movement speed so I can catch back up. Now we're going to go on to the guild. These are very much PvE. I suggest for any new players to go straight to the Fires Guild so you can get Intimidating Presence, and then to the Mage Guild so you can get Persuasive Will. This will allow you to go by quests a lot faster and save. I could have saved about 2 hours since I started playing if I would have had Intimidating Presence. Now, like Slayer and Banish the Wicked, those are mostly for PvE. Actually, they are for PvE. So it's mostly PvE for the guild stuff, but it's really nice to have, and definitely don't forget to put your points in there. Now, for the racial, as a Breton, the Gift of the Magus is good, because it gives me maximum magicka. Spell resistance, as I said, it's really nice, especially since I'm an anti-mage. And Magicka Mastery reduces the cost of Magicka spells by 1%, which is really nice. It allows me to keep more of my magic. So I went over my armor, my character stats, and my skills. Now this video is going to be a little bit shorter because this is my first one. I just want to mostly see how it works. But I do hope that everyone learned something a little bit today about ESO and about being a Templar. And being a Templar, you got to make sure you keep those pesky mages in mind. Now, thank you all again for watching. Hope to see you behind the game with Oriklad again. See you all soon.